This video will change your life. Watch it as many times as you need. You'll realize you hear something new every single time. Here are 100 cheat codes for winning at life. Welcome to this video, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. You know, life is actually pretty simple, but we love to overcomplicate it. Allow us to show you behind the curtain. Here's what you need to know in its most distilled form: where you live is the most important decision you will make in your life. It will determine what your beliefs are, what your friends are, and thus even your values. It'll determine what you do for a living and who you marry. If you want to flourish, you take care of the soil, not the seed. Upgrade your environment because your environment upgrades you. Remember, a flower doesn't go after the bee. The flower flourishes and then the bee comes. You don't have to fight for one true love or two true friends. Both come naturally. You should stop chasing butterflies. Plant a garden so they come to you. This applies to most things in your life. And speaking of friends, stop hanging out with losers unless you want to be one yourself. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with, so choose them carefully. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. Don't worry about having a lot of friends. You really only need 1 or 2. Stop taking advice from people less successful than you, unless you're listening to learn what not to do. The knowledge they don't teach in schools is the source of money for those who are unemployable. Try to never be the smartest person in a room. This rule applies to everything in life. Unless you're a teacher or trying to con the people in the room. A sinking ship can save no one. If you want to live a life that matters, start with yourself. Stop pointing fingers and assume blame for everything that happens in your life. This moves responsibility onto yourself. Now get better. Be as brutally honest as you can be, at least with yourself, and try with others. Every lie you tell incurs a debt to the truth. The more you lie, the more in debt you'll be, and your life will come to collect. Your life is boring because you are boring. Stop waiting for other people to come into your life and fix your reality. Nobody is coming to save you, so you have to save yourself. You solve boredom by being curious. Find a way to monetize the things that you can't wait to do in your spare time, and the world becomes your playground. If you are lacking purpose, know that the purpose is to grow. Growing allows you to understand, see, enjoy, and explore even more. And speaking of purpose, take care of yourself. Once you figure yourself out, take care of your inner circle. Once that's done, expand into your local community. Now you have a purpose. Go execute it. Define a big goal for your life. Make it explicit. It'll serve as your North Star. Write it down in detail on a piece of paper and look at it every once in a while to remind yourself why you're doing all of this. People who write down goals are 40% more likely to achieve them. Once you figure yourself out, stay in your lane and leave them be. They'll talk. They'll try to distract you. You're not competing with them. You're competing with poverty and who you were yesterday. Seek progress, not perfection. The worst position to find yourself in is no time and no money. The person who has time can always choose to trade it for money. Once you have money, you can begin choosing to trade it for time. Learn this arbitrage and you'll win at life. Better is greater than more is greater than new. Shiny objects are all around you. These are the trap society sets for you to get you to stop what you're doing. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Focus on doing what you do, and do it consistently better. It takes 10,000 hours to master anything. See where this road leads before you move on to a new one. As long as you live, remember, the only free cheese is in the mousetrap. Success boils down to just doing the obvious thing. For uncommonly long periods of time, be careful of unearned money or knowledge. There's usually a price to pay. You should win at life, no matter if you get lucky or not. No reason to play the lotto. The lottery is like a special tax for people who can't do math. Every day, do one thing that gets you closer to your big goal. Venture out into the unknown. Remember, boats are safe in the harbor. But that's not what boats are for. Do not quit. Everyone who ever won at life simply didn't give up. Know that it might take a while. It might be hard. But as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will eventually get there. Problems are life's way of seeing if you're ready to level up. You must work in the dark for your light to shine. No matter how hard or difficult life gets, remember that even the longest night eventually turns into day. Keep in mind that when you look back, the nights are long but the years are short. Measure. In decades, not days, you'll be paid based on your ability to see into the future. Employees can only see 1 week in advance, managers a couple of months, and CEOs a few years. If life is a simulation, self-confidence is a cheat code. Believe in yourself and others will do as well. We trust and invest our time, effort, and money into people and the way they present themselves. Take care of yourself. Shower often, get a haircut, clean clothes, and make sure you smell nice. Don't make it easy on them. Never assume the answer is no before you ask. Let them be the ones to tell you no. More often than not, you'll be surprised by how wrong you were to assume the worst. No doesn't change your reality very much. So every time you ask, you're getting a free roll at a positive answer. Even if they do say no, then you get to ask what would have made them say yes. Their feedback will help you grow. Stop acting richer than you are. Stop trying to impress people. Impress yourself. Stop buying products marketed to you. Flexing is just showing others how much money you can afford to waste. It's actually a waste of time. You're playing the long game where if you win, you get the life you always wanted. Let them hate. Nobody throws stones at a tree that doesn't have ripe fruit on it. Stop expecting them to see what you see. Stop expecting them to act the way you would act. Stop expecting you from other people. They won't be able to see the world the way you see it. When you talk growth with people who don't want to grow, to them it sounds like bragging. They'll resent you for trying to move up from where they are because your progress makes them realize that they are less in comparison. A man with no aspirations sees dreams as arrogant. Even so, accept people as they are, but place them where they belong. If your dog starts barking at you, somebody else is feeding it. This isn't really about dogs. Others will only see your decision, not the choices you had. They will only see the outcome, not the effort. Overnight success usually takes 7 years to accomplish. Stop chasing people. Yes, sex is fun. But making your dreams come true is the ultimate release. You can't even imagine what it's like to wake up without the stress of having to survive. Stop buying video games and weed. Instead, hop on a plane. Chase experiences versus not escaping from reality. Be careful of anything that can cause addiction or long-term damage. It's not worth it. Move away and do not look back. The only real test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. Ask yourself, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? If you're so smart, why aren't you happy? Smart people are able to figure these things out. So figure it out. Once the work is done, the lesson learned. Trust that the money will follow. Money will be up, and it will be down. But that's how life is. The market doesn't determine how hard you work. So by proxy, if you can outwork them, you'll be able to out-earn them. Learn to use leverage. Those who use the tools at their disposal outperform the rest. Learn to use the technology available in your field. Your life is cheap because you think investing in yourself is expensive. If you're finding this video valuable, then like this video. It'll blow you away with how practical and actionable it is. You'll see what we mean once you get it. Use money to hire other people for boring, repetitive tasks. You'll pay them a fraction of what you charge for it, because the hard part isn't the work, it's bringing in revenue. Never do what others can do for you, and once you do, let them do it. No point in hiring a dog if you're going to bark for them. Rise up early. The world is lazy and unmotivated. It's easy to compete with them if you're up before them. An extra hour of your life is worth more when you're 30 than when you're 80. It pays off to cut on sleep when you're young. You don't win by being better. You win by doing the things others don't consider valuable. You already know what you should be doing. The growth you are looking for is in the work you keep postponing. It's never too late to start. But those who start earlier usually get further along the way than everyone else. That's why the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best was yesterday. And the third best is right now. Remember that great is just good repeated over and over again. Consistency beats talent. When talent isn't consistent, you have to rub the lamp consistently. If you want your wish to come true in life, you have to choose one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You feel bad because deep down you know you could be doing better. The gap between reality and expectations creates stress. Either bring your reality to the level of your expectations or bring your expectations to the level of your reality. Make a choice. Direction is more important than speed. The same way hard work won't get you very far. If the idea is poor, give yourself the best shot at success. Find a good enough idea and work as hard as you can on it. It doesn't get easier, you just get better. But the trick is to do it every day. And once you see those results coming in, you're hooked. Good enough now is better than perfect. Never get yourself moving and adjust course based on the information you receive. You might not realize it, but between 1% and 2% the difference is 100%. Small changes lead to big results. You choose who you are becoming through the choices you make daily, as these small choices compound over time. Once you get burned, don't put your hand back in the fire. The lesson you struggle with will repeat itself until you learn from it. You should never be more stupid than you need to be. The price for making everyone happy is making yourself miserable. If you're a friend to everybody, you're actually an enemy to yourself. People want you to do well in life, but not better than them. And on that note, pay attention to those who don't clap when you win. Most people won't support you until they notice it's popular to support you. Be careful of those who only show up when you cut the cake. Remember that if they talk to you about someone else behind their back, they'll do the same about you. With them, lies travel faster than the truth. So keep an ear out for what people are saying. Then look at who they are. Judge people based on what they do, not on what they say. Words only make sense when we discover the ends they serve. An insincere apology is a second insult. The smartest people realize life is a strategy game. Mediocre people sit back and assume it's a movie. Reality is negotiable. Anything that anyone has ever done is proof that it's possible if you only gather all of the ingredients and follow the same recipe. The truth is, nobody gets rich by being employed. You get rich by owning something that dramatically increases value in a short period of time. They told you that it takes money to make money so that you won't quit your job. Some of you aren't broke. You're just pre-rich. The truth is, money doesn't buy happiness, but it's a very strong, unhappiness repellent. You get rich by taking large amounts of risk with low amounts of money. You stay rich by taking low amounts of risk with large amounts of money. You make yourself rich by selling. You make yourself wealthy by not having to sell. These are two very different mindsets, so learn the difference. Pay all your taxes. You don't want to be disqualified due to a technicality. Make your money in the light. It's never been easier to make a lot of money legally. There's no reason to take on the risk of ever going to jail. Avoid emotional altercations. Nobody remembers any situation where losing your temper created a positive outcome. Actually, it's cheaper to get out of conflict, even if you get out of a loss. If emotions go up, decision-making goes down. Keep in mind that once words are spoken, they're no longer only yours. People might forgive you, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Learn to be where your feet are. There's nothing like the present. But most people live either in the past or in the future, so they miss out on the most important parts of life. Don't be a slave to the person you used to be. Forgive your past and move on. Remove the chains of past trauma keeping you back. It takes a strong person to admit they need help. Remember, the person with no future will only look to the past. Don't die with music still in you. Find your gift. Once you learn to monetize your gift, life opens up. Almost every decision can be rewound. Regrets are irreversible. Find your voice. Learn to speak as yourself. You'll be able to escape competition through authenticity because nobody can beat you at being you. Please remember that undifferentiated products can only compete on price, and that's a race to the bottom you don't want to be in. Be courageous. The journey starts when you take the first step, not when you think about taking the first step. It's never the first mistake that ruins you. It's a series of mistakes that follow it. That's why brutal honesty is so important. Take your head out of your behind and look objectively at your life. Sometimes you miss the forest because of the trees. There's no such thing as your truth. Truth is reality. What you have is your perspective on reality. Don't confuse the two. If you want to avoid making the same mistake twice, make more decisions based on your past memories and fewer decisions based on your current emotions. You don't expand by becoming someone else. You expand by becoming more of yourself. The greater the monster, the greater the hero. When you start growing, you'll get growing pains. New levels, new devils. Get ready for some new challenges. The cost of public failure is the ticket to the life you want to live. 73% of people live with the fear of public embarrassment, so they settle for whatever society tells them to settle for. You don't need others to believe in you. If you believe in yourself, you get to decide whether to be your greatest obstacle or your biggest fan. You already know this by now, but if you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. Being busy is not a flex. It means you don't have control over your life. Don't confuse being busy with being productive. Stop opening new tabs in your mind. It slows down your processing power. Use your brain for what it's designed to do. The main purpose of your brain is to generate ideas, not to store them. Anything that you can do for a limited time that has lifelong returns, do it. Look for these kinds of returns in everything you do. You don't need more advice. You need to finish your to-do list. Don't buy new books. Finish the ones you bought but haven't read yet. Don't start a new project until you see the fruit of the first one. Learn to use the knowledge of the past and you'll seem like a genius of the present. Knowledge is useless unless you apply it. You can't just read about push-ups and expect to build muscle. Use knowledge as soon as you get it, for its value decreases over time with the number of people that hold it. If you feel undervalued, the first thing you should do is switch locations, because location changes value. The same bottle of water is 50 cents at the supermarket, $2 at a restaurant, and $5 on a plane. You're not undervalued. You're just in the wrong place. Sometimes the lifestyle you want may not be available in your region. Whenever you feel stupid about something, that's a signal that you just got smarter. Also, don't believe everything you feel. Feelings are usually different than reality. Although people say they don't know where to start, the reality is there are too many options. That's what's stopping you from taking action. When we know what to do, knowing when to do it becomes the hard part. The world where you were born no longer exists. So open up your mind and get ready for the future. Companies who plan for the future earn on average 33% more than those who just stay the course. The goal is to be an intellectual athlete. Being an end-to-end thinker is a superpower. Doing what you want equals freedom. Liking what you do equals happiness. Be careful who you choose to follow. Put a clown on a throne and the whole kingdom becomes a circus. Don't mistake an expensive lifestyle for a happy life. The poor man is someone who always wants more money, no matter how much money they already have. It's okay for others to have more than you as long as you have more than enough. Time doesn't heal anything. It just piles up new memories and distractions. Strive for peace, not happiness. Both of them stem from freedom and the ability to toy with your own time. That is the greatest measurement of freedom. We are born with the seed of death in us. If you were to die tomorrow, would you be proud of how you lived your life? Maybe it's time you start adding more life to your years. Life is a balance between the present and trading with the future. Living every day as if it's your last is horrible. Productivity advice: you should never have a problem turning the page of your life. Life has seasons the same way nature does. You might be ready to start a new season. Live life without a destination mindset. The one who loves the journey will go further in life than the one who loves the destination. The biggest life hack is finding happiness in the process. You win at life when you enjoy the passing of time. Instead of trying to build the perfect business, pick the lifestyle you want and build a business that supports it. You will be much happier. Sometimes more money is just too expensive. If it costs you your peace of mind and how you sleep at night, the cost is too high. You don't need it, no matter what it is. The reward is better when you've earned it. There's beauty in the struggle. The goal is to no longer have any goals. Success is a self-perpetuating game that you can only win by deciding you've already won. If you're watching this, know that you're already there. What you're playing for now are bonus points. Gratitude for what you have replaces the misery of not having more. Which of these 100 golden nuggets sparked an AHA moment for you? Let us know in the comments. And as for your bonus, here's one more thing we want to add to the list. It's not the recipe that you're missing. You're smart enough to know what needs to be done. What you need is 6 months of focus of a productive routine where every morning, before you do anything else, you chip away at your dreams. Write 1 page a day, write 1 block of code. Get it done consistently. 2023 is going to be a very interesting year. It's a year of resets. The world will start feeling the effects of the recession. Property prices will start falling. People will be laid off. If you have a safety nest, hold on to it. Make sure you survive and use this period of market stagnation to build. 3 years from today, your life could look completely different if for the next 6 months, you buckle down and get to work. So here's what we want you to do. Make a promise that for the next 6 months, not a day will go by without you chipping away at your goal. Look yourself in the mirror or pull out your phone and make this promise to yourself. Come back to this video as often as you can, and we promise every single time you do, something else will click in your mind. These are by far the most valuable lessons we've learned in the past decade. And in this video, you'll always find an answer to your next phase. Don't underestimate what the next 6 months can do for your business, your health, relationships, and more. 6 months from now, you can become a whole different person and open up your life completely. Let's see who's ready for it. If you're ready to accept the 6-month challenge, write 6 code. Get it done consistently. 2023 is going to be a very interesting year. It's a year of resets. The world will start feeling the effects of the recession. Property prices will start falling. People will be laid off. If you have a safety nest, hold on to it. Make sure you survive and use this period of market stagnation to build. 3 years from today, your life could look completely